going to be talking about fractions, and we're going to introduce you to proper and improper fractions. So what is a fraction? A fraction is an expression that can be indicated in the quotient of two quantities, such as 1/3. And the simplest idea is a number that can be expressed in the form P over Q. There are different kinds of fractions. We have improper fractions and proper fractions. Improper fractions are fractions whose numerator is larger than its denominator. So an example of an improper fraction would be 15/5. Another example would be 22/3. As you can see, the numerator is larger than its denominator. Now, a proper fraction are fractions whose numerator is less than its denominator. Now, proper fractions have three types of proper fractions. You have the kind that's a whole number and can be expressed in the whole number over 1. You also have, like our definition says, the numerator is less than the denominator, so 3/5 is a proper fraction. And you also have proper fractions with a leading coefficient, and it's the larger number in front of the fraction. So all of these are proper fractions: 2/1, 3/5, and 2 times 1/3. So example 1, we're going to find the improper fraction for the following. For right now, I'm going to give you the answer so you can see where we're going to. We're going to start at 2 1/8. So step 1, we're going to identify the denominator. The denominator in this fraction is what? 8. That's correct. 8. Step 2, we're going to multiply the denominator by the leading coefficient. So remember, I said the leading coefficient is the larger number in front of the fraction. So our leading coefficient in this fraction is what? 2. So we're going to do 8 times 2, right?
Right.
Which is 16. Good job. So step 3, we're going to add the previously found product, which is 16, to the number in the numerator, which is 1. Right. So 16 plus 1 is 17. Good job. This happens to be your new numerator for your improper fraction. So the last step is to put your new numerator over your old denominator. And we identified our old denominator as 8, so our answer for our improper fraction is
17/8.
17/8, that's correct. Good job. So example 2, we're going to find the proper fraction for the following. And once again, I included the answer already, but we're going to look ahead and match up to make sure that we're going where we need to. So if we're at 11/4, our step 1 is to divide the numerator by the denominator. And our denominator is 4, so we'll say 11 divided by 4, which is 2. Now, if we have 2 times 4, we get 8, right? And we have a remainder, which is 3. Correct. Now, okay, so our leading coefficient is going to be the whole number that divides into our dividend. So in this case, it's 2. So 2 is our leading coefficient, and our fraction is going to be our remainder over our divisor, which is
3
So on your own, we're going to complete the following problems. 5 1/8 is going to be turned into an improper fraction, and 15/4 is going to be turned into a proper fraction. So looking at 15 1/8, what is the first step into turning 15 1/8 into an improper fraction?
You multiply the leading coefficient by the denominator.
Okay, so our leading coefficient in this case is
5.
and our denominator is what?
8.
Correct. So what is 5 times 8?
40.
Correct. What is our next step?
Add the numerator to the product.
Right. We're going to add the numerator to the product of our denominator times our leading coefficient. So if we're adding 40 plus 1, we get?
41.
Right. And what is our last step?
Use your old denominator.
Yeah. You're going to put this new number over your old denominator. So our final fraction is?
41/8.
41/8. That's correct. Good job. So our next problem, 15/4, is going to be turned into a proper fraction. And what is our first step?
Divide 4 into 15.
Correct. If we're going to divide 4 into 15, how many times does 4 go into 15 evenly?
3.
Is that correct, class?
Yes.
So 3 times 4 is?
12.
15 minus 12 is?
3.
Can we divide it anymore?
No.
That's correct. So 3 is our remainder, right? So what are we going to do with these? What is our leading coefficient in this problem?
3.
That's correct. Now, what is our fraction?
3/4.
That's right. It's going to be your remainder over your denominator, your old denominator. So, completely correct in saying it's 3/4. So, our new proper fraction is what?
3 3/4.
Good job. That's correct. So for homework, I want you guys to read chapters 2.3 and 2.4 about addition and subtraction for fractions. I want you to also look at our online blog for extra practice. There are videos, there's extra practice on what we've done today, and I also want you to look at your book homework, chapter 2.2. The problems are going to be 1, 3, 5, 8, 11, and 44. And